If you're a man over 50 and you've been noticing the signs, stiffer hips, weaker balance, slower recovery, more effort just to get down to the floor and back up, pay attention. Because most men think aging steals strength all at once. It doesn't. It takes it a little at a time. A little mobility here, a little coordination there, a little confidence every time your body feels less reliable than it used to. And that's how decline sneaks up on you. Now here's the part most people miss. The men and women in Japan who stay active, steady, and independent deep into their 70s, 80s, and beyond are not doing anything exotic. They're not relying on expensive equipment. They're not crushing high-intensity boot camps. And they're definitely not chasing flashy fitness trends on the internet. What they do, day after day, is much simpler than that. They practice small, repeatable movement habits with discipline. That matters, because after 50, your body stops rewarding random effort and starts rewarding consistency. That's true for muscle, it's true for joints, it's true for balance, it's true for the brain. I learned that the hard way. After 20 years as a Navy SEAL, I thought the answer to every physical problem was to push harder. Then at 48, my blood pressure was up, my stress markers were a mess, my hormones were heading in the wrong direction, and the training mindset that used to make me feel powerful was quietly breaking me down. I had to rebuild from the ground up. Smarter movement, better recovery, less ego, more intention. So today I want to show you 6 simple movement habits practiced by older adults in Japan that can help you stay strong, mobile, and independent. They may look ordinary. Good. Ordinary is sustainable. And sustainable is what changes your body after 50. Stay with me, because the movement I'll save for the end is one of the most overlooked things I've ever seen for posture, circulation, coordination, and long-term resilience. Let's start with number 6, a short morning mobility routine. In Japan, many older adults begin the day with a few minutes of rhythmic joint movement. Nothing dramatic, nothing impressive, just a sequence of arm circles, side bends, trunk rotations, knee bends, shoulder rolls, and gentle whole-body motions to wake the system up. That sounds too basic for a lot of men. I know. Most guys hear morning mobility and mentally dismiss it because nobody's grunting, sweating, or lifting anything heavy. That's a mistake. When you first wake up, your body is not asking for punishment. It's asking for circulation. Your joints need movement. Your tissues need warmth. Your nervous system needs a smooth on-ramp into the day. When you skip that and go straight into hours of sitting, driving, hunching over a desk, or stiff, rushed movement, you pay for it later in the form of tight hips, cranky shoulders, low back irritation, and that general feeling that your body is older than it should be. A simple morning routine fixes a lot of that, not because it's magical, because it restores motion where stiffness likes to settle first. The shoulders open, the spine rotates, the hips start moving, blood flow improves, breathing deepens, and maybe most important, you stop treating your body like a machine you only notice when it breaks. If you're a man over 50, I want you to think of this as daily maintenance. 3 to 5 minutes, that's enough. Do arm swings, reach overhead, rotate gently side to side, bend the knees, open the chest. Let the body wake up with rhythm instead of friction. You don't need motivation for this. You need a routine. Big difference. Number 5 is getting up from a kneeling or floor position. This is one of those movements that seems almost embarrassingly simple until you can't do it well. Then suddenly it becomes very serious. The ability to lower yourself down and rise back up with control tells you a lot about how well you're aging. It reflects leg strength, hip mobility, balance, coordination, core stability, and confidence. Lose that ability and life gets smaller fast. You hesitate more. You avoid the floor. You avoid certain tasks. You start moving like the ground is a threat. That is not where you want to be. Older adults in Japan preserve this pattern because they spend more time closer to the floor than most Westerners do. That means they rehearse the skill naturally. They don't wait until a physical therapist tells them they've lost it. For men 50 and up, this matters because your quadriceps, glutes, and hip stabilizers are the exact muscles that tend to weaken fastest if you stop challenging them. Then one day getting off the couch feels harder. Stairs feel steeper. A low chair becomes annoying. And if you ever fall, the question is no longer, did I get hurt? It becomes, can I get up? So here's how I want you to start. Use support. A chair, a bench, a countertop, a couch, doesn't matter. Lower one knee to the ground, then the other. Pause, then come back up with control. That's it. You do not need to perform it like a martial artist. You need to practice it like a man who intends to stay independent. 2 or 3 reps a day is enough to begin. Over time, use less support. Move more smoothly. Build confidence. A lot of men avoid movements that expose weakness. That's ego. Weakness doesn't improve because you ignore it. Number 4 is torso rotation. This one is criminally underrated. Most men think about strength and cardio. Very few think about spinal rotation until they lose it. Then it shows up everywhere. You back out of the driveway and your neck and mid-back feel locked up. You reach across your body and something feels tight. Your golf swing loses range. Your posture rounds. Your breathing gets shallower. Your lower back starts doing work your thoracic spine should have been doing all along. That's the issue. When one area stops moving, another area starts compensating. Older adults in Japan often keep some form of daily twisting in their routine. Nothing aggressive, just controlled side-to-side rotation, standing in the kitchen, in the yard, before the day gets going. It looks small, but it preserves one of the most important qualities in the aging body, usable movement in the spine and trunk. And when you restore that, you improve more than flexibility. You improve posture. You improve balance. You improve how the rib cage moves when you breathe. You reduce some of the chronic stiffness that makes people move like they've aged 10 extra years. Here's the key. Slow and controlled. Don't whip the spine around. Rotate through the upper body while keeping your hips mostly quiet. Let the ribs move over the pelvis. Breathe. 5 controlled turns each side is enough to start. If you're stiff, good. That means you've identified a problem worth solving. The body gets old where it stops moving. Number 3 is the deep squat. Now before half of you click off and say your knees are too far gone, stay with me. I'm not telling you to throw a barbell on your back and squat heavy. I'm talking about reclaiming the ability to get low, hold some version of that position, and come back up with control. The squat is one of the most honest movement screens in the human body. It tells the truth about your ankles, hips, knees, balance, trunk control, and coordination. Most men lose it because modern life removes the need for it. Chairs replace the squat. Recliners replace the floor. Convenience replaces movement. Then years later, they wonder why their hips feel locked and their legs feel unreliable. Because what you don't use, you lose. The reason the deep squat matters so much after 50 is simple. Strong legs keep you alive and independent. Your quads and glutes are the engine for standing up, sitting down, climbing stairs, catching yourself if you trip, and carrying your own body weight through life. When those muscles weaken, everything gets harder. Start with support. Hold onto a door frame, a countertop, suspension straps, whatever helps. Sit back and down as far as you comfortably can. Maybe that's only partial range right now. Fine. Maybe your heels need elevation with a towel. Fine. We work with the body you have, not the body your ego wishes you had. Hold for 15 or 20 seconds. Breathe. Repeat. Done consistently, the squat restores mobility through the ankles and hips, while also waking up leg strength and postural stability. And let me say something men need to hear. Avoiding leg work because you feel old is one of the fastest ways to become old. Number 2 is slow walking with controlled breathing. This one sounds almost too simple. Good. Simple scales. Most people walk in a hurry. They shuffle through the parking lot, pound the pavement, check their phone, mouth breathe through stress, and call it activity. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about deliberate walking, calm walking, controlled walking, the kind where you slow the pace enough that your body has to organize each step instead of falling forward on momentum. Your foot rolls properly. Your posture stacks better. Your core turns on. Your breathing becomes part of the movement instead of an afterthought. That changes everything. As men age, oxygen use tends to get less efficient. The heart isn't as forgiving. The lungs don't expand as easily. Blood pressure can creep up. The nervous system stays more stressed than most men realize. Pairing slower walking with controlled breathing helps on multiple fronts at once. It improves endurance, balance, stress regulation, and body awareness. Try this. Walk slower than normal. Keep the chest tall. Let the arms move naturally. Inhale for 3 or 4 steps. Exhale for 4 or 6. The exact count matters less than the principle. Long, steady, controlled breath. That longer exhale helps calm the nervous system. And a calmer nervous system usually means lower tension, better posture, steadier movement, and less wasted effort. I like this one because it's accessible. 10 minutes, no gym, no equipment, just you, your feet, your lungs, and your discipline. And for men who used to train hard but now feel beat up, this is one of the best ways to stay in motion without digging a deeper recovery hole. Now let's get to number 1. Gentle arm circles with control. I know. Out of all the things I could have put at the top of the list, that sounds almost insulting. Arm circles? Really? Yes, really. Because when done correctly, this is not just waving your arms around like you're back in middle school PE. Controlled arm circles open the chest, mobilize the shoulders, encourage thoracic extension, improve breathing mechanics, and create a surprisingly powerful link between posture, circulation, and nervous system regulation. Most men over 50 carry tension in the same places. Chest tight, shoulders rounded, upper back stiff, neck overloaded. That posture changes how you breathe. It changes how you move. It even changes how energetic you feel. Slow arm circles are a simple way to reverse some of that pattern. Stand tall. Lift the arms gradually. Make smooth circles with intention, not speed. Let the shoulder blades move. Let the rib cage expand. Keep the neck relaxed. Breathe through it. A couple of minutes goes a long way. And because it's low impact, you can do it daily. That matters. Remember, I'm not trying to impress you with complexity. I'm trying to help you build a body that keeps working. Men get into trouble when they only respect the hard-looking stuff. Longevity favors the movements you can repeat for years. Now, put all 6 of these together and what do you have? You have a system. A short morning mobility sequence to wake the body up. A kneeling to standing practice to preserve independence. Torso rotation to keep the spine alive. Squat work to maintain leg strength and mobility. Slow walking with breathing to restore balance and endurance. Gentle arm circles to improve posture, circulation, and control. None of that is glamorous. That's why it works. The biggest lie in fitness is that results come from complexity. They don't. Results come from doing the right things long enough for your body to adapt. And let me give you one more truth. You do not need to do all 6 perfectly starting tomorrow. That's how men sabotage themselves. They get inspired, try to overhaul everything at once, then disappear in 3 days. Don't do that. Pick one movement, one habit, one daily win. Maybe you start with 10 minutes of slow walking in the morning. Maybe you do 3 kneeling transitions by the couch. Maybe you hold onto a counter and sit into a supported squat for 20 seconds. Maybe you add arm circles before breakfast. Maybe you rotate your torso while the coffee brews. That is enough to begin. And if you've been inactive for years, if you've got aches, old injuries, extra weight, or low confidence, hear me clearly. You are not disqualified. You just need to move intelligently. Use support. Reduce range. Slow it down. Respect pain. Build gradually. Discipline over motivation. Consistency over intensity. Longevity over vanity. That's how this works. I'm not interested in helping you pretend you're 25. I'm interested in helping you stay capable at 57, 67, 77, and beyond. Strong enough to get off the floor, steady enough to avoid preventable falls, mobile enough to move through life without fear, clear-headed enough to enjoy the years you worked so hard to reach. That is real health. So here's what I want from you. Don't admire these movements. Use them. Today. Not next Monday. Not after you buy new shoes. Not after life calms down. Today. Because the body you have at 60 is built by the choices you make today. And if nobody's told you this in a while, let me be the one to say it. You are not too old. You are not past your prime. And you are not stuck with decline just because the calendar says so. You're just getting started. Strength has no expiration date.